our street that we're outside here is it's sort of one of the iconic Belfast streets of bars, and I was going to sort of start there and then come inside again, but I think that might have been too much technological risk to attempt that. So
Yep, no, you're all very welcome. There's a couple of the attendees joining the call at the moment. We're just kind of getting set up and organised. We have all our pictures on the call. We've done plenty of testing of slides and audio. So anybody joining the call, you're all very welcome. If you'd like to drop into the chat where you're joining us from, it'd be great, because we've got some pictures from a wide range of countries today, not just here in Northern Ireland and the UK. We've got a picture in Africa and a picture joining us from America as well. So let's jump in the chat if let us know where you are today as we all join this great virtual call. We're actually based in Northern Ireland at the moment, not just far from Belfast. We have Michael McDowell, who's on the call from Raise, based, as he said, in our office in Cathedral Quarter in Belfast. And we have David Shaw from the remote Raise team based out just outside the other side of Belfast in Lisburn. So just to give you a bit of flavour about where we are. So yeah, great to see everybody, and we'll just get started in a couple of minutes, just letting a few more people in, and we'll kick off. I think 4 o'clock on April Fool's Day, we've got a good attendance, and happy if we can jump in and anybody can join. We're going to record the event, everybody, just so that you know, and if we want to watch back, we can. I'm going to run a wee poll just on screen at the end of every pitch, just if you want to register any interest, and then we'll follow up individually with a bit of a feedback form. Essentially, it's our job to help those conversations, but also likewise, happy for you guys to connect startups to investors and investors to startups as we go as well. So I'll hand over to Michael for him to get started.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this, our 4th remote Raise. Raise Ventures started with pitching events. For those of you who haven't met us before, haven't been on one of these calls, we realized back in 2017, a group of us, that there were no pitching events in Belfast for startups other than those organised by the government agencies. So we went ahead and organised our own. And we were amazed at the response. We filled a room and we had lots of people pitching, but our philosophy was slightly different from the other pitching events that we did see happening. Our attitude was very much to make them as relaxed as possible, to try and make it a level playing field between pitcher and investor, and to try and create an environment where those conversations could start, because we clearly understood that investment doesn't happen quickly, it doesn't happen suddenly. It starts with a conversation, it starts with the building of a relationship, the building of confidence, and then when everyone has a shared vision of what can be achieved, the investment follows. So that's the idea behind our events. Obviously, this time last year, when the world got very, very complicated, we had to move from our usual model of having these events in bars and gin distilleries and other nice, interesting places to bring them online. But that's been beneficial. What we've discovered is that we can now reach out to the investment community much further afield. And we can also then give people an opportunity to pitch without them having to physically come to Belfast. And that's reflected very much in today's event. So we have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches for you today. They're going to be 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes, with time for questions afterwards. And we have companies from everything from Fela and Salabuta in Lagos, through to Joanne and Band Bridge, Richard over in England, David Donnelly, who is in the west coast of America, Vincent, who is up in the northwest of Ireland, and Jenny, who is in Newton Abbey. So we have a nice spread and a nice variety of companies. So rather than me whittering on any longer, I'll hand you over to our first pitch today, which is Fela Akinse of Salabuta, and he's going to tell you about their business, which is using plastics to create footwear.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fela, and I'm the CEO of the brand Salabuta. So I'll be sharing my screen now. So hope you enjoy. I hope you can see my screen.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. As I said, my name is Fela, and I'm the CEO and also a co-founder of the brand Salabuta. And at Salabuta, what we simply do is that we make shoes from recycled plastic waste. So over the past few months, we've been able to garner $84,000 in revenue and via Bootstrap. And we currently have over 900 recurrent paying customers. We're also going ahead to further validate our cause by winning at these global and national and regional competitions. So here is our team. So we have Derek Ikenga as our CTO. I am the product designer, and I'm also actively involved in fundraising. I'm also an environmental expert. Then we have Adetono Mokoy, is our CMO. He's also a professional fashion photographer. And so the question is, why do we do what we do? In a year alone, we realized that there are over 381 million tons of plastic waste produced. Now, the sad part to this, that just only about 9% of this waste have ever been recycled, like ever. And so another recurrent situation we have is that we have a lot of recycling companies around, but the volume of the plastic waste in the environment not only remains constant, but also more in the environment. And so we have more people reusing this plastic waste rather than recycling or upcycling them. Right now, we currently have over 5 trillion plastics still floating in our oceans to date. And so it was with this background, and my team and I started imagining if we could convert all of this plastic waste to footwear. We also realized that the potential for impact is so huge. The global footwear market is currently valued at $264 billion per annum. This will be, in 2 years' time, $320 billion. So it was with this reason we decided to occupy this niche of recycled low-cost plastic shoes that makes a profit whilst also benefiting people and planet. So here's our product. So aside that, the fact the shoes are made from plastic waste, they are also modular. Modular in the sense that they are detachable. So like this green upper now, you can readily detach it and replace it with this black upper in about 5 seconds. And compare with what our competitors are offering, our shoes allows aeration for the feet, and you can readily dry clean the shoes, and they are sold at just $60. So we currently make at $15 and sell to end customers. By next year, we want to commence our franchise because we believe that that will be a major source of revenue stream for us. Here's our go-to-market strategy. So even before the advent of the COVID-19, we've been operating online. And so we've been utilizing all of these platforms and enhancing them more, even during this particular period. So because we realize that the downwind impact of these pollutants affect the people in the underserved communities the most, particularly the women, so we have decided to commit 5% of the profit on each shoe sold to the cost of empowering these women. And so our target per annum of this global annual footwear market share is $132 million in revenue per annum. And likewise, we'll have also saved over 40 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions per annum. That would mean that we'll have contributed over $6.6 million of our profit to the cost of empowering these women. Yes, our roadmap. So we commenced in 2018. To date, we bootstrapped to reach our first 1,000 customers as at last year, July 2020. We're also working on a shoe sizing app known as SoulFitter. And though the technology is proprietary, we're also democratizing it such that every other person, retailer or e-commerce platforms are also going to use it. And we are also providing plugins so that more people can be able to use that. But as I said, by January 2022, we also want to plan to initiate our franchise. We believe that will be a major source of revenue for us. So to date, we've been able to raise $70,000 pre-seed. Here is the, we won this in competition. Then our current revenue per month averages around $6,000 per month. Lastly, we are seeking to raise $1 million to scale to major European and American cities. And so 55% of this will be dedicated into manufacturing. And so at cost of $15 per shoe, that will yield a revenue of over $2.2 million per month. That is recurrent and also growing because the photo market share is also growing. 35% of this is dedicated into marketing. Because we calculated that our cost of acquisition per customer is $3, and so that will improve our customer demand by over 3 times, and also further boost our franchise. The last 10% we dedicated into research and development. Right now, our mission is not just to make just shoes. Our mission is to make lifestyle technologies that help people and planet. I hope you consider a business to really invest in. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was great. And in with 1 minute to spare, so that's even better. So well done. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them into the chat. I was going to ask, can we buy your shoes at the minute ourselves?
Yes, you can readily. You can, and by tomorrow we're launching another new line. These are slides that you can readily wear aside just the sneakers. Yeah.
Where do we go to buy them? From your website or through retailers or?
So you can readily search salubataofficial.com. Then you can make a purchase, Salubata Official, or you can just type Salubata on Google. It will direct you to the website.
Brilliant. And in terms of your expansion then into the new markets, you mentioned a franchise model? Is that for the manufacturing or is it for the sales and marketing, or how's your global work?
Yeah, so because we have a patent on our technology and we realize that we have more people interested in this technology. And so we want to be able to allow people buy into this particular technology. And so we've identified a few people that are interested in this technology. So these people serve as franchises, they can produce and also sell. While we also, aside before going to our franchise model, we're also establishing retail partnerships in Europe and also in the US right now. So we believe we can really scale faster via that means.
Fantastic, excellent. So any other questions out there, guys? We've got your details there in the chat, so people can get in touch with you directly. And we're going to be sharing out this video afterwards, so we'll follow up. Oh, we've got a question here from Elizabeth. Do you have an average LTV?
Yeah, so our LTV is calculated at an average of 2 years. 2 years on the shoes, yeah, an average of 2 years. Because we started in about 3 years, and so we feel like we've monitored our customers over the time, and so we've been able to calculate that an average of 2 years per shoe every customer purchases.
Excellent. Well, I know I'll be on having a look at them anyway, because when you've got teenage daughters, you're accused every night of killing the planet and of all the ills in the earth. So if I can get some shoes and show them that I'm doing my bit to try and make the world a better place, hopefully
Yeah.
I'll over a little bit more. So thank you very much, guys, and we'll follow up after the call. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So next up, from Lagos to Banbridge, and we have Joanne Cole of Broker IQ. Joanne is making amazing speed at developing this idea. The technology behind it and their engagement with customers is fantastic. And we're delighted to say that Joanne's one of the companies in the Raise Accelerator. So proud to call her one of our own. So I will hand over to Joanne to tell you all about Broker IQ.
Okay. Hello, hi is everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm running this off our Zoom. So just bear with me.
Yeah, we can see everything okay. Bear with us, everybody, because connection today seems to be a bit slow.
Yeah, it's on the last slide. It won't skip forward. We'll go back. Apologies.
Yep.
That's just fine. Here. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. my name is Joanne and I am founder and CEO of Broker IQ. Broker IQ is a smart software as a service platform for the insurance broker market. We aim to make broker communication more digital. We are backed so far by TechStart Northern Ireland as well as Raise Ventures, and we have just recently become a member of the FinTech Corridor. Advances. They use programs based on legacy systems, often prevents them from moving forward. Broker IQ helps the insurance broker market become more digital, helps them to move forward with technological advances, and it helps them with retaining customers, all the while reducing admin time and reducing convenience and clarity for their clients. The insurance industry, a new type of marketplace. The insurance industry is ripe for change, and change is happening rapidly. As customers become more demanding and informed, loyalty to the broker market has been decreasing. And as insurance industries become more proactive and more insurtech companies are arising, the insurance broker market needs some assistance. Our solution is a digital platform which helps the broker connect with the client. For the broker, the onboarding and retention of clients is key. And for the client, convenience and clarity is what they are looking. For the broker, the Broker IQ platform helps them to send notifications and video messages in advance of policy renewals. For the client, it combines everything in a policy vault on the phone and helps clients to interact with the brokers. Notifications are sent out in advance. Sorry, I've forgotten where I am. Oh. Sorry. How our platform works. The customer is prompted by the broker to download their application. I'm hoping for this video to just work. The client then downloads the application and inputs their details. The client then gets automations through their platform, and they can then communicate with their broker through the application. The platform then helps the client retain Sorry, I'm not entirely sure what's happened.
That's okay. We can talk about the slide. That's fine.
Yeah. Hold on, go back there. Sorry, I think, can it come back to me, Michael, please?
Yep, that's
Yeah.
absolutely fine.
Sorry, I've just forgotten the run of myself.
If you want to try and download the presentation and fire it over to us, we can do it for you there if you want. The joy of technology. When I said earlier that Zoom's be great for these events, it does obviously have its severe limitations in certain ways. So what we'll do is just move on to Richard and Capital Pilot. So Joanne, if you want to unshare your screen and then let Richard pick it up, that would be great. Okay, that's brilliant. And I'll let Richard tell you all about Capital Pilot.
Great, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jenny, and it's great to be here this afternoon. I'm Richard Blakesley. I'm the founder and CEO of Capital Pilot. And here's something that all of the presenters on this call and probably some of the investors as well can relate to. Fundraising sucks. It sucks for everybody. And that's largely because the early stage venture market is low scale, wasteful, and extraordinarily uninnovative given what the investors are looking to invest in. Now, as a result of these three factors, you find startups that are ill-prepared to begin their fundraising journeys, as well as investors that end up with over-concentrated portfolios. And these factors are driven by the fact that there's not enough data, and the signals between investees and investors are too weak. Our solution to this is to be the rating agency for startups. We're all familiar with Experian and Equifax, and what they're doing effectively is giving you a credit score and giving you information about how you can improve your credit score. We're doing exactly the same thing for startups. Here's your rating, and here's how you can improve your rating. But we're moving towards a new model, which is the S&P Moody's large cap corporate credit rating model, where they're also building new investment asset classes on the back of those ratings. And we'll talk about that more in a little while. But first of all, how do we actually do this? Every investor looks at certain factors around a business: the market, the business opportunity, scalability, executability, how good is the team, how attractive is the market, and so forth. And we're doing exactly the same thing, but we're asking our assessors a series of highly standardized, objective, unbiased questions about all of these aspects of investability and more, and combining their answers into a numerical rating. So taking a marketplace, which is very much about gut feel and subjective opinion, and codifying that into a quantified rating. It's a big market. There's well over 100 billion of assets invested in this every single year globally, about 1/10 of that, 10 billion in the UK, and that's generating about 100 million pounds of revenues in terms of fees against that 10 billion of investment in the UK, and that's the target that we're going after. We're not the only rating agency out there, but we do think we're the only one that's focused on affordability and scale for startups, doing lots and lots of this and building all the data that comes associated with it. And also the only ones that are looking at how we can build investment vehicles on the back of a rating system. So much for our competitors. What about our comparables? So Seed Legals, you'll be familiar with, is probably the closest comparable because they operate in a very similar marketplace to us. They're a couple of years ahead of us. They've built a way to generate quite significant revenue from the startups that they work with, and they have a significant market share, and they've built a very significant valuation to which we aspire as we move forward. So what do we do in terms of this rating system? We work with startups and we give them ratings, we provide them with investor matching, and we generate success fees from introducing them to investors. But we also work with accelerators and investors as well, filtering cohort members, filtering incoming deal flow, and also providing validation for selection decisions and support for the support that accelerators give to cohort members. And we've built up as a result of that a pretty impressive group of accelerator and investor clients, and we've got a very big pipeline of further investors and accelerators that we're working our way through at the moment. So we generate revenues through ratings. That gives us the opportunity to generate success fees as well. But our model will be turbocharged once we have created our Boost Fund. And the Boost Fund, which we're hoping to launch in the next few months, will invest in companies based purely on their rating. If a company gets a high score, it will get funding. And what that does for us as a business is to generate much greater consistency of revenue, because if a rating is required to generate investment, then we'll get lots more companies coming to us for rating. From the investor side, what we're doing here is creating large scale, high velocity, passive funds that enable individuals and institutional investors to invest more broadly into more diversified portfolios. And this is all pointing the way towards a future of capital on demand. This year is a transition year for us because it's all about revenues. It's about building on all the work that we've done in the past to validate our rating model and starting to sell that, as I've explained, that we're already doing. And in the coming years, it's about taking our one-off rating model, moment in time rating model, and turning that into a continuous rating model like your Experian credit score. We're raising our 500k EIS seed round at the moment at a £2 million valuation. We've got about 250,000 of that circled so far. And that's about building the team, building the platform, the data model, and spending on marketing to grow our group. We've got a strong team with bags of experience, about 25 startups and 6 IPOs amongst us, with domain expertise and technology expertise amongst there as well, with some good risk management balance there too. And we look at our exit in the future from a variety of different sources through trade sale, whether that's through index and exchange type companies or from asset managers. And that exit will come on the back of us having built a universal rating system, a new asset class, owning all the data associated with that, which is highly valuable, and working our way as first mover towards this capital on demand model for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. That was great. Thanks. If anyone has any specific questions, please put them into the chat. And I was going to ask, in terms of the reports that you produce, how much is that generated by the machine, and how much is it by human input?
Funny you should ask that, Michael. Thank you very much. The model currently is quite significantly human driven. But if you think about this in the context of, we all remember the Google capture, where for the security measures, you're asked to identify a traffic light or a bus in a series of pictures on your screen. What that's doing is obviously creating a system where, from Google's perspective, the humans are being used to teach their machine how to recognize a traffic light. So it's not really a security measure at all. And we're kind of doing the same thing. So we're using humans currently, human assessors, to help us, our machine, over time, to identify what a good startup looks like. I'm not sure we'll ever get away entirely from using human assessors because of the limitation on data that exists in early stage businesses. But I think that we will increasingly automate, and we're currently actually putting together a new system which is about to be rolled out, which will reduce by 2/3 the amount of human time that's spent on each assessment.
Is there a threshold in terms of a startup stage of development that it has to meet to get onto the platform or to make sense to be rated by you?
Only that a company needs to have a presentation and a financial model. Most of the companies that we look at are at seed stage, raising money from people they don't know from the first time. And typically that means they've got a product in the marketplace with or without early revenue, but they're able to demonstrate there's some customer demand.
And is it sector agnostic, or is there any specific industries that you work specifically with?
We are entirely agnostic. And what has been quite an interesting challenge for us is to build an assessment model which truly is agnostic. So we can look at a biotech business on the one hand and a digital SaaS business on the other with the same question set and generate valid responses. And that's been quite a challenge, but that is where we are now.
And applicable in all international markets?
Correct. So we've got a bit of a UK focus at the moment because you have to start somewhere, and this is our home market, but very much our plan is to be a global organization and to be covering the market globally with a standardized system as the credit rating agencies do.
Brilliant. Excellent. Well, if anyone has any questions, I'm sure Richard would be happy to answer them directly. Jenny's put contact details there into the chat. Yeah, best of luck, and look forward to hearing more and watching the progress as it goes.
Thank you, Mike.
I assume we'll be expecting to see pitch decks arriving on our desks with the Capital Pilot stamp in the bottom right-hand corner or something. I take it that's the
plan. That's the plan.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Richard. We're going to go back to Joanne now, I think, who has ironed out her technical issues and is going to go again. So is that right, Joanne? Are you good to go? All right, cool. Well, we'll hand, I think, Richard a few on connect, and Joanne, you connect, or whatever way it works.
Yeah, we're just having, oh God, I hope I'm all right.
This is why we need super fast broadband throughout the whole of Northern Ireland.
It's possibly. So just went working really slow.
Yeah. I think the interesting piece when we first met Joanne was kind of in the insurance broker market. You know, they're very much based on the face-to-face relationship building piece, and what obviously as an individual then you're saying is that the moving towards, you know, other ways of thinking about insurance. But the good thing about the brokers is they're trusted, they get the deals, and, you know, they have the buying power. So the digital transformation piece that they require, or that will help them in this marketplace to essentially stay on top of the game and service their clients, is what the Broker IQ platform will do. I think that's the interesting piece of digitizing a market, but continuing to build on those relations. And this tool can only help with those kind of communication piece. As a user, you know, when all your insurances are up, car could be in January, or house could be in September. Trying to track those and manage those as a user is really challenging. So Broker IQ also helps keep the policies all in one place. Would that be a fair reflection, Joanne?
Yeah, that's a really good reflection. I am just really sorry because the Zoom won't actually come up when I'm sharing my screen. So I can't even, I can hear you, Jenny, but I can't see any of the names.
That's okay. Well, we'll carry on, John. And this is the ultimate teaser pitch, folks. There's something amazing here. We're just teasing you, and we'll be behind. We'll try again at the end, and if it doesn't work, just watch this space, because there's something special being built. So I'll just pass on to David, who is with Emotive AI, and I'll give him the chance just to let you know what they're doing at the minute.
Thank you, Michael. I'm David Donnelly, CEO and founder of Emotive AI Solutions. We are disrupting the management consulting industry through the application of AI, bringing the consulting experience to clients in a faster, more cost-effective way. Management consulting traditionally is expensive both to deliver and consume. We are democratizing this experience, making it available to all. We're focusing on two core markets, that is the SME owners direct, who may well benefit from the consulting experience but do not have the funds for that, and professional service providers who are looking to diversify their current service offerings and expand the range of services to their clients. So COVID has created a perfect storm in that business models and companies have had to reassess how they operate their business, and the utilization of external support and onboarding new clients has been a critical factor in helping companies to survive and then prosper post-COVID. So the management consulting industry is a huge industry. It is ripe for disruption. Having been a consultant for the majority of my career, I understand that consultants can be very expensive and love to take time on executing projects, because the more time they take, the more money they make. And I felt that there was a model that could be disrupted, and the use of AI is what's driving us to execute that disruption. So the solution and product that we're utilizing is Your 360 Business Review. And what Your 360 Business Review does is undertake a systematic review of a business in a very fast and automated way. And from that data, our software produces an instant bespoke business analysis report and an action system solution that identifies the 3 critical issues in each of the 4 areas that we review at this stage, which is management and leadership, sales and marketing, finance and accounting, people and HR. And it enables the client to have the step-by-step process and time frame and actions to execute the change initiative in their business and drive them forward towards more profitability. So the market for us is big. There are a number of clients at this early stage that we've been focused on. That is the business owners themselves. A big driver has been insolvency practitioners and accountants that have been under pressure from technology within their industries. So for example, accountants are under pressure from QuickBooks, and therefore a lot of them are now becoming business advisors. And as a result, are looking to have new tools to be able to utilize in order to deliver that advisory services, but in a faster, more cost-efficient way for them. So we differentiate ourselves through the utilization of AI and the speed and accuracy of our solutions. There are alternatives on the market which are either focused very much on the processes and systems within the organization, or the consulting direct competitors that are a lot more expensive than the solution that we deliver. So the big driver of client acquisition has been LinkedIn and reaching out to decision makers, predominantly in the insolvency and the accountancy world. Getting them onto a call, showing them a software demo has been great in getting an understanding of what the market is dictating, and that has enabled us to reevaluate our value proposition and direction moving forward, which will be focused predominantly on a license model that is a white label solution for professional service providers. So we're going to make our money through a subscription model, which would be focused on a monthly fee and user accounts, but then as the user delivers the product and the services, we would then take a commission payment from that. And the big drive for us in terms of how our strategy moves forward is the accounting and the insolvency world that have stated to us that they like the solution, they want to brand it as their own, and in essence have it be powered by 360. So the review system is just the beginning. What we want to develop further is a platform for service supply. We feel that service supply industry is ripe for disruption. It's a very expensive proposition for people to onboard new clients, and we want to integrate that into our review process to make it a more attractive proposition. But ultimately, we want to move towards the big data and the machine learning from the information that we extract from clients, and ultimately, one day, hopefully, become an investment fund ourselves. We would look to exit within 2 to 3 years, and it seems as though a mid-level accounting firm would probably be ripe for that acquisition. So at the minute, we're raising £100,000 at a £1 million valuation. This will enable us to upgrade the websites and our marketing material to focus predominantly on that professional service providers market, and upgrade our software based on what we've learned from going to the market at the back end of last year. And that would then put us in a position where we're ready to scale, and that's where we'll be looking to complete the second half of our raise. This is my contact details. Please let me know if you've got any questions.
That's brilliant, David. Thank you very much. As always, feel free to put any questions that anyone has into the chat. I think I was just going to ask same question that we asked Capital Pilot there. What at the minute, how much is human and how much is machine in terms of the solution?
All of it is machine. At the minute, there's no human interaction. Our analysis reports, action system solutions are developed instantly by the software with no human interaction.
Fantastic. And I see you're in the States at the minute. Are you finding the US market more approachable in the UK, or is there any specific reason you're sort of trying to do the two continents at the same time?
So the driver behind creating 360 was based on my own experiences of being an entrepreneur, moving from that corporate environment to an entrepreneurial one. And the real inspiration was once I'd sold my company in Dubai to a Swiss firm and handled that integration of organizations. And I spent some time in the US, and I just saw the prevalence of SME businesses out there. And I felt that would be a good market to go into. So it is a vast market. It is huge. I've got connections over here that we can utilize. However, the focus of the business is in London, and I will be back in the UK shortly. And I'm hoping with the seed investment that we get after this pre-seed will enable us then to establish an office in the US, but also then look at how we move into the Middle East and exploit that market as well, especially with the growth and demand that Saudi is going to have moving forward.
And in terms of your investment rounds, are you looking for smart money or just the cash?
At the beginning, the 100,000 is focused on smart money. Ideally, I'd be looking for some help and support and guidance for people in the tech industry or the consulting industry. That would be ideal.
Fantastic. Well, that's very good. Well, thank you very much for getting up so early to get your technical things for us. Appreciate it.
Fantastic.
And hopefully catch up when you're back in the UK when we can travel again.
Yeah, absolutely.
From Emotive AI in the west coast of America to Vincent, who is in the west coast of Ireland, who's going to be talking to you about Ringfort, which is a cybersecurity firm.
Hello, everybody. Jenny, would you mind putting the slide deck on screen for everyone to see? So what you're seeing there is an ancient fort very near to me called Green na Alia. It's over 2,000 years old, and it was to protect the people in that village from invading armies. So essentially what Ringfort is, we're a people-centric cybersecurity company. We want to protect your online identity, and initially our first product is securing and authenticating voice privacy. Next slide, please. So this nice quote here: citizens will be divided into those who prefer convenience and those who prefer privacy. We all have that sneaking feeling that whenever we have conversations on social media platforms or even on phones, it's all been recorded, digitized, speech to text, and we're losing our privacy. So we've asked ourselves, the question is, how can we actually regain our privacy online? So we think we have a technical solution for that works across many different platforms. So what we want to offer our customers is the same level of cybersecurity that the President of America has, through very, very high secure encryption technology that can work from your mobile phone or your laptop or any other device. So we believe we're entering into a privacy revolution where there's going to be decentralized, point-to-point encrypted speech and audio watermarking. That's what we're going to do, that enables secure, verified conversations and audio data transfer on non-secure mobile phones and video conference and social media platforms. That's what we want to do, and that's what we're making the product for. Next slide, please. So our first customers, I mean, they are beta customers. We're starting off with baby steps here. We're looking at professional product, which will be a higher secure spec, and we're looking at corporates. So we're interested in talking to corporates, and we've some inroads there with financial institutions, government organizations, NGOs, primarily in Europe and US, and that will be direct sales and service contractors. We also see an opportunity, and perhaps for a medium spec, security spec product for online gamers and privacy conscious individuals. And we intend to sell that online and also through Amazon. And we hopefully be able to do that next year. Next. So how does it work? Well, we have a piece of hardware and we're working on an app as well, but essentially your voice is an analog, and within that piece of hardware, we basically make it into noise, and then it becomes digitized into John's phone here in the slide, and it can work on any platform from Skype to Facebook, WhatsApp, standard phone, Teams, you name it, anything that you have got an audio transfer, and it then goes to Mary's phone, and when with the Ringfort system, it then it translates the noise, the sound noise, into a proper human voice, and also you have a digital ID watermark. So this also verifies that when Mary is speaking to John, they both have an audio watermark ID, which is unique and can be created by the person themselves, independent of any platform. Next slide, please. So where are we now? Our first product is ready for trialing, so we'd be interested in having chats with people who'd be interested in working with us with this. So it's what you see there is the first model, and it basically plugs into your phone, but it also can be used Bluetooth enabled, and then it plugs into your headset. So the connectivity is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, jack, plug. It also can work on walkie-talkie radios. There's a USB rechargeable battery. It is basically a little small computer that does the encryption. And you can actually back up encryption keys with a micro SD card. We use AES 256 encryption level, which is pretty damn good security. And the keys, the public and private keys can be uploaded, or they can actually be over there rekeying. And it is single and multi-user format. Hopefully, when we advance and get a little bit more investment in customers, we want to actually incorporate this into a headset, and also focus on our app, which will have the similar features for audio encryption as well. So that's where we want to go. Next slide, please. So we're bootstrapping currently. We want to basically we're looking for about 50,000 in return for 7% equity to make the first batch of 50 units for pilot trial and beta customers, and for administration and online marketing. Hopefully by then we should be getting into the hundreds of units, and then we'll be working with a electronics partner with scale up. The costings there are in-house development, but we see for larger numbers there that we will be going out to a subcontractor to make the actual device. Initially, the unit itself will be quite expensive, but with volumes, we hope to get the price down to a more economical cost of manufacturing, and then we'll actually grow the market share as well. So who we are, well, my background is in technology development. I'm an innovation consultant. I work and put teams together for highly disruptive technologies. I put Yuri and Martin together. Yuri is a very skilled electronics engineer and who's making the hardware. Martin is a cyber security expert and a very experienced programmer coming from the fintech industry. And the three of us are the team of Ringfort. And we hopefully then, once we grow, we'll bring on other people as well. So that's us, that's Ringfort Technologies. We'd be delighted to have conversations with people. We believe that we have a very, very disruptive, innovative product that will enable people to bring back their privacy and own their privacy online, and when who they're talking to. Thank you.
That's great, Vincent. Thank you very much. As always, any questions, please put them into the chat, and I'm sure Jenny will put up your contact details there in a second. I was going to ask, is your technology unique? Is there patents and things involved?
Yeah, there will be IP. Yeah. Yes, we're deep techie people.
Nothing off the shelf.
Nothing off the shelf.
Yeah. And have you engaged? Well, will you engage with the established mobile phone providers and things as well as you go along? Or
yeah, I mean, there's many junctures that we can go. I mean, we want to make money very quickly by selling these devices, but as you can see, there's opportunities to create our own communication platform for this technology to actually be incorporated into a range of devices to make them more secure. We're looking at kind of governmental and corporates where there's a whole issue with voice security and people talking on their phones that may have apps that may be mining their data. So that would be our first port of call, but we see there's a huge opportunity here to develop a range of platforms, and not only in audio, but we're also looking at image, securing images as well. And
I assume it works across, I think as you explained, it works across all devices.
Yes, that's the great thing.
And different geographic locations and things.
So,
as well, yeah.
so we can have this conversation using Zoom, and my voice is totally encrypted.
Yeah.
So it gives you ultra level of security. So I think a lot of people would be interested in this technology.
Yes, very much so. And very interesting. So it's one of those things where the call's going to end. I'm going to have half a dozen different questions, so I'll save it. I'll save it for then and come back to you. And in terms of the investments, so are you based in?
Yeah, we're based in Donegal, the best place to have a startup company because of lifestyle, and it's a great place to live. So the company will be based out of the Northwest.
Okay. Fair enough. No, I was just checking around SEIS and EIS.
Oh yeah, we're comfortable with actually, having a cross-border entity there for, being suitable for UK investors to invest in. Yeah.
Yeah, something you can look at.
It'd be the Northwest. It could be ROI or NI.
I know. I made the mistake in the last on a recent call where I confused someone being in Derry and someone being in Donegal. So I'm just very careful.
Yeah. Well, so we'd be very interested in talking to people and seeing if they help us on the way in making this exciting product.
All right, that's great. Well, thank you very much, Vincent. Really appreciate that. So we have Jenny is going to make a bit of a raise announcement and pitch, but I'll just check to see if Joanne wants to pitch or whether we want to just leave it for the next event.
No, I'll go ahead, Michael. I'm just not going to share my start my video. I'll share the screen and hope that all goes well. Third time lucky.
All right, good stuff. Well, over to you.
Yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, put it in presentation mode. There. Okay. Just start where I left off. Good afternoon, everybody. As I've already introduced myself, I am Joanne, I'm the founder and CEO of Broker IQ. Broker IQ is a digital software as a service platform that aims to bring a transformation to the insurance broker market. The problem with the insurance broker market is that they struggle to keep up with technological advances. Often they are using programs which are built from legacy systems, preventing them from moving on. But as many customers' expectations grow, doing nothing is simply not an option. Broker IQ is on a mission to help the insurance broker market become more digital, to help them become more technically advanced. This in turn helps them with their customer retention and therefore reduces admin time. It also provides the client with convenience and clarity. The average churn rate for an insurance broker is 18%, and this is a problem. The insurance industry, a new type of marketplace. The insurance broker market especially is ripe for change, and change is happening rapidly. Customers are becoming more demanding, they're more informed, they're more able to access the online sites and digital platforms. This in turn affects customer loyalty towards the broker market. There are more proactive insurance policies available, and lots more insurtech companies are coming out month after month. Our solution, a platform that connects the broker to the client. For the broker, onboarding and retaining the client is the focus, while for the client, clarity is key. Broker IQ connects clients and brokers through a sleek app, providing a digital channel of communication. The broker can communicate through notifications and video messaging, and quotes are sent to clients in advance. The use of face and fingerprint ID provides a safe platform for brokers. Admin is reduced as the client fills in their own data, assisting the broker with GDPR and compliance. The broker can also send policy details to the client via the app, which is stored in a policy vault. For the client, let's just take a minute to think of our own insurance policies. How many do we have? Where are they stored? What do we pay? It can often be difficult to keep on top of. With Broker IQ, clients are always in control of their policies. With notifications and video messages, as well as the policy vault, customers will no longer need to hunt out policy details or miss a renewal date again, making the process of having insurance and sorting insurance easier. How our platform works. The broker initiates the download by sending a link to the client. Client then downloads the app. We have a very sleek onboarding process, which I'd hope to show in this video. Might start. Here it is here. Very slick onboarding process where the client inputs their data. This data is then sent through to the broker's back system and the automation process begins. This then helps the broker and the client communicate, which in turn helps the broker with retention. It helps them decrease that churn rate, and it provides the customer with the clarity and convenience that they need. Within the broker market, Broker IQ ticks every box. We store policies in the one place. We have an automated policy renewal system with notifications. We have a mobile application with a built-in CRM system. We are currently in talks with the Primus Mortgage Group in England, who represent 2,500 independent brokers, and we are hoping to work with them as a partner in the future and provide them with our platform. There is no doubt that there are many great products available on the market, but Broker IQ are by far the best in the insurance broker market. The market. Insurance, a game of niches in a $5 trillion business. The UK is our initial market. It is the largest in Europe and fourth largest in the world with 50,000 appointed representatives. Broker IQ also fits ideally into the European and American market, and we have plans to move into these markets. Europe having 800,000 intermediaries and the USA 1.5 million appointed representatives, there's plenty of room for development. Pricing. Our pricing model is based on a freemium to premium model. We offer an initial free 30-day trial, and after that we charge a monthly or an annual fee. We have different pricing options available with the basic price for single users and additional charges for multi-site, multi-user licenses. For the insurance consumer, the app is free to download. Our team. Our team is comprised of myself, the CEO and founder. I've worked in the insurance industry for a number of years, all while maintaining my job as a full-time teacher. I have a strong, as well as also developing the Broker IQ platform. I have a strong background in data analysis and assessment planning and staff management. And I am undertaking a career break from June 21 to focus full-time as the CEO of Broker IQ. Des is a computer software with over 20 years experience in software development. He has worked with numerous tech startups in the past and owns his own software development consultancy company. Des has just joined the Broker IQ team full-time. We also have Michael, our co-founder and non-executive director. Michael is a multi-company fintech founder, having launched platforms in Europe, the US, and Canada. Broker IQ is an innovative insurtech business. We currently have our product out to 3 beta test clients, and we are hoping to launch to more in our second phase of beta testing in June. We are also SEIS compliant. At this stage, we are open to talking to any partners, clients, and investors who'd be willing to engage in some conversation. Thank you for listening today, and you can contact us at any of these details. Thank you. I can't hear anybody.
That's great.
That was
sorry, I can't hear anybody. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. So if anyone has any questions for Joanne, you can put them into the chat. Can you hear us now, or are you?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, brilliant. I was just going to ask. So in terms of your customer for Broker IQ, is it mainly the brokers, or is it for consumers as well?
The customer, our buying customer, is the broker. We offer them the license and they offer it to their clients. Clients can download the app and communicate with their broker through that, but it's a free app for consumers of insurance.
Good. And what's the reaction been like through the broker market to your?
It's been really strong. We're such a new company, but it has we have lots of broker interest coming through. I mean, I did work in the insurance industry, so I have had a lot of contacts in that area, and I've had no problem filling the first test clients, as well as a further 10 that we're launching to in June. So we have had really strong interest. As I say, we are in talks with the Primus Mortgage Group in England, who represent quite a large number of brokers.
You're growing quickly.
Yeah, we're moving quickly. Yeah.
And the technology you've developed, it's not a no-code product. It's you're building it yourselves.
Yeah, we've built it completely ourselves with code. It has a broker back-end system to it. It's not just basically an app. It is a platform for them to work through as well. And we've had good feedback, because insurance brokers, by their own admission, have found it very difficult to embrace digital. You know, they do, their own systems are quite dated and they're built on legacy systems. So our platform has been received well at this stage.
That's brilliant. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more. And I think your details are in the chat.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Get in touch. They can do. And I say, well done for dealing with the tech issues. It's never easy.
It's very stressful. Thank you.
So that's the end of our pitches, but we're saving Raise to the last, and I will hand over to Jenny to let you tell about what we're planning to do here in Raise Ventures.
Hi everybody, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
So just wanted to launch today our new exciting Power of the Group investment Raise Syndicate. This is looking at group angel investing for better deals, enhanced knowledge, and more startup success. As you've heard earlier today, in terms of Raise Accelerator, we work with early stage tech startups. We're based here in Northern Ireland, but we work with companies throughout the UK, the north and the south of Ireland. We help them through that process of commercializing and taking their product to market and helping them look for investment. We also have been running these pitching events in person and online for the last couple of years. We've got a portfolio at the moment of 14 companies, and they, since fruition 2 years ago, have been looking at a valuation potential for 3 times return on investment. We're very focused on the founder and helping them succeed, and we provide that gap in terms of advice and mentoring, knowledge, expertise, and connections. This is our team: myself, Jenny Irvine, Michael McDowell, who's on the call, Matt Johnson, and Marty Neal. We all have experience working with startups, working in startups, helping startups get investment. And as you can see below, we have a wide range of partners and relationships across not just Northern Ireland, but into the UK, looking at helping these startups succeed, right from accountancy provision through to lawyers, R&D tax credits, networking, and through to sales, finance, and investment. So what's the problem that we're really seeing with Raise and our startups? Our quality startups talk to many investments before closing a deal. They have limited networks, and investors may not be able to complete the full investment round. Trying to run a business is really challenging, never mind trying to run investment. The investors from the other side of the table have a problem as well. They're interested in quality deal flow, but they might not have time to go and do the due diligence and sift through all the deals. They want to spread the risk of investment, and occasionally we're also seeing a growth in new investors coming to the table and not quite sure how to get started. So this is the problem that we're trying to solve with our Raise Syndicate. The Raise Syndicate will offer good quality deal flow from early stage startups. These will be qualified by us here at Raise. You will be able to join a network of new and existing exciting angels to do the deals, to pull investment together to get the deal done. it's more cost effective, it's more time effective, you can get the due diligence and deal executions. And then, as I said below here, we unleash the power to be incredible. More heads round the table, we have more knowledge, more connections to help the startup succeed. How it works. The angel investors commit to be part of the syndicate. We find the deals within our accelerator and our ecosystem. As we can see today, we have Joanne within Raise, but also some great pitches within the ecosystem that we've worked with. We work with our own mentors, advisors, our co-founding team, and our lead angel on due diligence and legals. You commit to the investment as a group, close the deal, but you're named on the deal as individual shareholders. All companies we bring to the table will have SEIS and EIS advanced assurance for UK investors. And angels, obviously, we know are keen on being members of more than one syndicate, and we're very open to attract angels from different syndicates and different groups to join our syndicate. The benefit for the startup, as I said, we're very founder focused. The startup gets access to the angel investors and the network. They can close deals quicker, they get access to larger rounds, and they have a better chance of success. So we're calling today for an expression of interest. Join the Raise Syndicate, unleash the power of the group, and let's see success for these companies that are at the early stage. They're looking to grow not just here, Northern Ireland, across the island of Ireland, into the UK and into the US. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Jenny. If anyone's any questions, just feel free to put them in the chat or even just unmute yourself and ask any questions. But I'll just ask a couple of things. So in terms of this that we're talking about, so the syndicate isn't just for, we won't just invest into Raise accelerator companies. It may open up for other companies.
I mean, it's all about quality deal flow. Absolutely, we can stand behind our own Raise startups, but if we're able to do due diligence on startups in the ecosystem, similar to what we do with our own Raise startups, and we make sure that they're good quality, then we would welcome them also. And
are we sector agnostic, Jenny?
I think, yes, being based here in Northern Ireland is very challenging to be sector specific. But what we're aiming in terms of our startups and the ecosystem is looking at startups that are interesting. Fintech, cyber, e-commerce, retail, stock management, climate. These are all, and cyber as well. These are all topics and industries that we have startups ready and looking for investment. So we're following the trends rather than following sector specific.
And what sort of deal sizes?
Yeah, very much we're seeing our startups looking for anything between 50,000 up to 250,000. And we're looking for small commitments from angel investors. You know, can start, UK business angels say that you can get started from 5,000. Quite normally syndicates look at commitments from 25,000. But as I say, to attract the new angels, I think we need to be flexible on those.
Guys, can I ask a question? Just seen in your slides there, Jenny, it says that the listing would be, or the shareholdings would be in the individual name. Have you looked at an SPV? I mean, does the SPV model work in relation to not having but just having one shareholder for the raise, and then the SPV has the individual shareholders listed and has the SES approval? I mean, is that?
Yeah, I mean, that could certainly be an option. We've been doing plenty of research in terms of syndicates, and there's great different ways to set it up. Yeah, certainly SPV could be one option we could have a look at, absolutely. I guess it depends on the network and what their appetite for in terms of being part of an SPV or being listed as an individual.
Yeah. I think it also depends on the number of investors coming in on any specific. Yeah. Anyone, any other questions? What sort of timescales are we talking about here, Jenny? Yeah, we're opening expression of interest from now, I say, for the next quarter to capture that kind of business quarter from now to June, to try and look for investment flowing into the companies from September. And angels don't need to be living in Northern Ireland. There can be anywhere that they are. No, as I say, angels are part of many syndicates. I was on a call with UKBAA where one angel was part of anything up to 15 or 20, you know, different syndicates looking for deal flow. So I think with remote working, we can attract a wide range of angels. So I think we're seeing a lot of the diaspora Northern Irish diaspora, particularly starting to look more closely at Northern Ireland. Buying lots of houses and pushing up property prices, but I think they're also looking a lot more at how they can get involved in businesses and things over here as well. So we see that as a good opportunity and a sector to reach out to. And any other plans, Jenny, in terms of for our companies or for other companies for international expansion or anything?
We're very much seeing, growing here is a great sandpit. It's a great place to get started, but looking to expand not just across to the UK, but even across to America, whereby the cost of getting started here in the UK can be low. The valuations are interesting, but the opportunity in terms of growth, customers and exits does tend to lie further afield and potentially in the US. And we've already started conversations of how we build that bridge from here across the US for our companies.
And I think we'd be happy to talk to any companies who are looking at that that route for them, and then how we can potentially help them as well as part of this in our wider program. So anything else at this stage, Jenny, or should we just all retire to our own bars and back gardens?
Yeah, no, thank you very much to all the pitchers. It was a great event with a wide range, and I encourage all the people on the call to get in touch in terms of building those relations and get some virtual coffee set up after the Easter weekend. I'll be sending out a feedback form. I encourage everybody as much as possible to send that back so we can help those conversations. But yeah, let's help these startups succeed. And I'll throw the contact details in here one more time. Yeah, thank you very much to everybody for today, and really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you everyone, and get in touch. And if you don't want to go directly to the startups but want to come to us with any questions, or you're interested in finding startups in Northern Ireland, get in touch with us, because as I say, we support our own companies, but we're also very active across the wider ecosystem and have a very much open door policy and try to support everyone as best as we can through race. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Well done, everyone. Thank you very much. Bye.